We finally have a huge blockbuster trade in the NBA world. What is going on, y'all? 5 Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NBA here to talk about some trades. Okay, talking about one trade in particular, the blockbuster trade. And no, right now, it is not the Anthony Davis trade, which we all expect soon to happen to the Lakers. But again, this trade is about the Knicks and the Mavericks, who agreed to terms to deal Kristaps Porzingis, the Knicks, of course, to the Dallas Mavericks for Dennis Smith Jr. Now, of course, there are a lot more pieces involved in the trade, which I'm going to be talking about and breaking all of that down. Before I do that, if you are new to the channel, make sure to go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button down below to keep up with all my videos as I post them. You're not going to want to miss out on the analysis, especially with the trade deadline right around the corner. So go ahead and follow and subscribe and hit me up on my social media links down below for that as well. Twitter, Instagram, all of that good stuff. Let's talk some NBA. Let's debate. I love to debate. So with that being said, I'm going to break down the trade itself, talk about who I think won this trade, talk about why this trade was made, and kind of give my overall thoughts on it and kind of wrap it up for you guys. So with that being said, let's not wait any longer. Let's get started. So let us start with the full trade details. So the Dallas Mavericks get Kristaps Porzingis, Courtney Lee, Tim Hardaway Jr. Okay, so that's what they get. The New York Knicks get Dennis Smith Jr., Wesley Matthews, DeAndre Jordan, and 2 first-round draft picks. Okay, and I'm going to be talking about all the details here in a second, but let's talk about the fact of why was this trade made, okay? It was made for a couple of reasons. I'm going to start with the Knicks perspective, okay? It was reported earlier today that Kristaps Porzingis, talked with the Knicks front office and their brass, and he didn't seem too happy with where the Knicks team was headed, the direction, the culture of the team, and everything else in between. That's not a surprise because the Knicks have been a mess for about 2 decades now, okay? What is a surprise is that Kristaps says that and they deal him right away. Meaning, literally, that news came out earlier today, this morning, and Porzingis is gone before the day's over. Okay, so a lot of people are thinking, did they already have this move in mind? Were they not looking to extend Kristaps? What was the real reason? And here is what I think, okay? Porzingis, of course, we know has not played this year. He's still recovering from that ACL tear. And that, of course, we know is a gruesome injury. I'm a Bulls fan. I know how bad ACL tears are. Go see Derrick Rose. Thank you very much. Point being is, Kristaps Porzingis, the important thing was, he is entering a contract year, or this is the contract year, and the contract is about to expire. And the Knicks need to know if they want to extend this guy or not. Either they offer him a qualifying offer, making him a restricted free agent, or they just outright sign him to terms. And I'm guessing when they were discussing that with him, it did not sound like Kristaps wanted to re-sign with the Knicks. Now, they could still have offered him the qualifying offer, and if he would have accepted it, he would have been a restricted free agent and had no choice, but he was turning down money. And anytime a guy turns down more money because he doesn't want to be there, makes it really, really clear that there is no point of keeping him, aka the Knicks realized that. And so that's why I believe they moved very quickly. Now, why did this trade happen that fast, though? Okay, even if the Knicks had decided they were not going to keep Kristaps Porzingis, it was still very quick to move him, right? It's because it was the right trade partner. And it just so happened the Dallas Mavericks also were looking to get rid of Dennis Smith Jr., who was just not a clear fit with Luka Doncic, their rookie phenom. Okay, they want Doncic to play whatever position he wants to play. He can play everything from the 1 to the 3. Dennis Smith Jr. wants the ball in his hands all the time. They want the ball in Luka Doncic's hands, and I wanted to. And DSJ, to his credit, he's not as effective without the ball in his hands. So clearly, there's a mismatch on the court unless one player adjusts, and Luka's not going to adjust, and the Mavs are not going to want him to adjust. So it's DSJ who's the odd man out, and so they were looking to trade him, and lo and behold, the Knicks needed a point guard, and so that's why they traded for Dennis Smith Jr. It's just so funny. They could have drafted Dennis Smith Jr. A few years ago, but they took Frank Ntilikina. So good job, New York Knicks. You just traded away your franchise player in Kristaps Porzingis for a guy you could have drafted instead. Okay, so point being is that's not my overall take, obviously, on who won this trade. But just to point that out, it's just so ironic that they could have drafted Dennis Smith Jr. And I think I remember during that draft saying they should take Dennis Smith Jr. I don't know what they were thinking taking Frank Ntilikina. I think he's a bust. I mean, is it still a little early in his career? Yeah, but I don't see anything special in Frank Ntilikina. With that being said, that was the reason the trade was made. Okay, so they said, okay, listen, Porzingis is not going to sign with us. Let's get rid of him. And if we are going to get rid of him, let's get, obviously, somebody that we like, a.k.a. DSJ. But then also, let's pair out and give up our contracts that are taking a massive salary cap. Let's reset. Let's clear our cap space for this summer to sign some free agents, a.k.a. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Jimmy Butler. We'll have two, not one, but two max slots this summer to be able to sign two max salary guys. And with that, we'll have, you know, the guy we have in Dennis Smith Jr. who we traded for. You have Kevin Knox, a budding rookie. And you could potentially have the #1 pick, Zion Williamson. So that is really the reason the Knicks have made this trade. And I really can't fault them for it too much. Now, the Mavericks, why did they make this trade? Well, one, like I told you, the fit with DSJ, it just wasn't working out. So they knew they wanted to trade him. And I believe DeAndre Jordan was also a guy they were looking to move there. They weren't very happy with DeAndre this year, even though, you know, he was essentially doing what they signed him for. I don't know why they didn't like DeAndre, but Wesley Matthews, these other guys are just fillers for their trade, really. And so they just needed that to make the trade work. But essentially, getting a guy like a Kristaps Porzingis and putting him alongside Luka Doncic. Mavericks are in no rush, by the way, to obviously contend. But now you've got your cornerstone pieces. So you get a chance to put another piece around your franchise cornerstone in Doncic. You do that. Kristaps Porzingis, you know, when he's healthy, this is a 20-10 guy, a 7'4" unicorn. There's a reason why that's his nickname. So clearly that's the reason why the trade was made from the perspective of the Dallas Mavericks. Now, who do I think won this trade? You know, I was on Twitter reading a lot of the reaction, the news. By the way, follow me on Twitter, link down below for that. And a lot of people were bashing the New York Knicks, saying, oh my God, they got absolutely robbed and fleeced and everything. And I'm like, I don't really think so. And here's why, okay? If KP really was not set on staying with the Knicks and he didn't want to stay with the Knicks, trading him was absolutely the right move, okay? So, again, we don't know that. There's no way to confirm it unless you work for the Knicks or you're a reporter, right? But let's assume Kristaps Porzingis did not want to be with the Knicks, and that is very believable. Again, it's the Knicks, right? Trading him is the next best option. Okay, cool. We're on the same page. Now, if you are trading him, you're looking for the best trade package. And here's where people were saying the Knicks got fleeced. I don't think so. Dennis Smith Jr. I like a lot, and on the Knicks, he is going to be a good fit. Trust me, folks, Dennis Smith Jr., he's not Luka. He's not Luka Doncic, but he is still going to be very, very, very good. Way better than Frank Ntilikina. So I like Dennis Smith Jr. And you get a chance to get rid of Tim Hardaway Jr.'s contract and Courtney Lee's contract. Do you know how hard that is for the New York Knicks to be able to shed that salary? So that, to me, was a big part of this trade of why I don't think the Knicks really lost this trade, okay? Because they were able to shed salary. They were able to get a guy that they like who has some potential. And they were able to basically, you know, do all of that without now having to deal with the fact that they don't know if they want to sign KP to a big contract this summer coming off an ACL injury in a year where you didn't even see him play. I like Kristaps Porzingis. The Mavericks can take that risk because they have all the time in the world. Not saying the Knicks don't, but if the Knicks made the mistake of extending KP and we see that he's never the same player ever again, the Knicks would be, again, the laughing stock for making that move. So it was a risky proposition in the first place. They got rid of that decision, and they got some assets. And if they get Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving or Jimmy Butler, not saying they will, but if they do, listen, they'll have the last laugh. So in that sense, I do like this move for the New York Knicks. And the best part about it is they got 2 first-round draft picks. Nobody seems to look at that. One of them's completely unprotected. And the other one, I believe, is protected 1 through 10, okay? That means if it's a pick outside of the top 10, the Knicks will get it, okay? The Mavericks pick. So 2 first-round picks is a lot, okay? So again, I don't think the Knicks got fleeced in this trade. I just don't, okay? So I like this move for the New York Knicks, but I like it even more for the Dallas Mavericks, okay? And that's basically what I'm saying here. I don't think anybody lost. I think it was a fair trade for both sides. I really do. But if you have to pick a winner, you pick the Dallas Mavericks. Why? Because I am betting on Kristaps Porzingis being the same player that he was before injury. It's not like Kristaps Porzingis was a super-duper athletic freak who used that as his game. And now with this, ACL injury, he can't be the same. I think he will be fine. And now you pair Luka Doncic with him. And boy, is that going to be a scary combination. The Mavericks just Euro step their way into a dynasty. Okay, I'm sorry for making the joke, but I have to, okay? They have the best mentor in the world in Dirk Nowitzki. So the way the Mavericks have been able to rebuild on the fly, I mean, that is so impressive to me. So overall, like this trade for the Dallas Mavericks. Do feel like the 2 first-round picks are a little too much for them to give up, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. So I like this move for the Mavericks. But again, I don't think the Knicks got fleeced at all. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. Who do you think won this trade between the Knicks and the Mavericks? Leave a comment down below and let me know. Hit me up on my social media. Let's talk about this trade. As always, thanks for watching.